Welcome to the Lazarus Pit. Hashtag nerds chatting. Thanks for tuning in.
Welcome everybody to Lazarus Pit Pod comic book review weekly video. I am Nate and with me is Ben.
Hello.
What you got?
Cry Havoc. This is Image Comics. This is the second issue of a lesbian werewolf that goes to war but kind of does. This is incredibly violent, interesting, an awful lot of words. I enjoyed it. Silver Surfer, issue 2.
Oh yeah.
This was a lot of fun. It's Dan Slott as well. Nice one, Dan Slott. And it's got a Doctor Who vibe, and I love Doctor Who, so it's great.
But this is this is volume 2 of Dan Slott's Silver Surfer.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, okay.
But I enjoyed it. It wasn't as good as issue 1, but it was good.
So I have Star Wars Darth Vader issue 17.
I also read this.
I have two things to say about it. Anything with Darth Vader in it was gripping, loved it. Anything with like politics and things like that in it, I found a little bit like episode 1 and started to drift off.
I didn't like it this week.
Oh, okay.
I didn't like it at all. Outcast, issue 16. This is consistently great. It's Kirkman, basically, so it's right over The Walking Dead. The artwork is great. It's really eerie throughout. There's not an awful lot of talking in it. It's more people doing things and actions. There's a big fight here, and it focuses on things crashing down. It gives it a sense of eeriness to what you're actually seeing on the page.
The Discipline, issue 1.
I've put this back with Jim, but I'm looking forward to your review.
I thought it was over-sexualised tripe. I hated every single page.
Talking of over-sexualised tripe, Saga. This week it really focused on the daughter of the two main characters this week.
I've read the first volume, so I know who you
And yeah, over the course of time of the year, she's grown up. She's now like a 6-year-old, maybe about the same age as my daughter. It was great. It was really good because she's really sweet and she kind of knows that she shouldn't exist, but she does. As if Romeo and Juliet had a kid and she knows that she's in a lot of trouble for being who she is. There wasn't an awful lot of spacey stuff in it this week. It was more grounded in the worlds that they were on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great, but no over-sexualised tripe, which is a bit of a shame because normally I like that. In this comic book. Black Magic, number 5. This was almost my comic book of the week.
Ooh.
Almost. So normally it's all sort of washed out.
Yeah.
But anytime there's magic, people doing magic things, that you see colour.
Yeah, and it's like a thing in the eye there.
Yeah, that's right. So
yeah.
she's magic.
Yeah.
She's a magic-y type person. There's a couple of plot threads going along and they're running in parallel and it's building really nicely and you know they're going to clash at some point. It was great. I really enjoyed it. I encourage you to buy it. It's Greg Rucka, drawn by Nicholas Scott.
Green Lantern, number 50. This comic has been slow since Jeff Johns left a few years ago. This one particularly was great. There was a lot of action, it was fast paced, there's a lot of questions, but like good questions. Ooh, what's going to go on? Ooh, what's going to happen? This sort of world bending stuff because there's Parallax from a different universe come in fighting Hal Jordan, but at the same time it still acknowledges that the pre-52 stuff happened. Lots of questions. I really enjoyed it, really. I ripped through it. It took me a few minutes to read because it was so much fun, so much action-packed. So.
See, normally this would be my comic of the week because it's The Walking Dead, issue 152.
Yeah.
Very talky.
Yeah.
This is building an awful lot of plot. They've made radio contact with someone for the first time
Ever.
I don't want to spoil too much because this is definitely going to be in the TV show.
Okay.
But these guys are potentially the most dangerous people they have ever encountered. It was really good. I really enjoyed it, but it was a little bit talky this week.
Okay.
I'm wanting a little bit more action. It's ramping up to something huge coming. If you watch the TV show, for the love of God, read this comic because it's better.
Comic of the week. It's a bit of a cheat because it's issue 1 and issue 0, so it's sort of 1.5. But my comic of the week is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers issue number 1. It is a little bit kitsch, it's a little bit silly, but the nostalgic value alone what makes it my comic of the week. It's Carl Higgins, who is the writer of it, and he's done some great stuff. The artwork in it, it's hit and miss, I will admit that, but it is still very, very strong. Every character is fleshed out, but the artwork for the action is particularly good. The sort of kid in me came out, and that's why it's my comic of the week, because I think it was just so much fun. But also on top of that, it's subverting what you know about Power Rangers being kitsch and fun. The Green Ranger breaks free of the bad guy Rita's control, and so he was a bad guy originally, and then he becomes a good guy. She's always there behind him, and she's always whispering evil things in his mind, and so it's actually quite dark. And so it sort of puts a twist on that original campy show that you used to watch. For nostalgia and fun and just general, I just smiled all the way through reading it. This is my comic of the week, 1.5.
Okay, so on the completely other end of the spectrum, my comic book of the week is
Comic of the week.
issue 4 of The Sheriff of Babylon. When you say that was a bit kitsch and your comic was, played on stuff that we remember as kids, this is straight up adult action, and this is really mega violent. So good, I can't even begin to say. It is written by Tom King and it is drawn by Mitch Gerard, and he does the artwork and the colours. It's set in Baghdad, in Iraq, after the second Iraqi war. It is basically the Wild West. It is absolutely just so dangerous. It is incredibly unbelievable. So in the first issue, they had completely separate storylines that you were like, oh my god, these are all really interesting, but what are they to do with each other? In this, they all sort of converge into one point at the end. There's some really eerie stuff where a kid is trying to sell, like the American police guy is trying to train up the Iraqi police over there. He's just trying to sell them some stuff, and it goes from quite funny to almost, hang on, look, he pulls a gun on this kid because he thinks he's going to take out like an IED or something and detonate it. The entire comic book, all the way through, you're on the edge because you know that anything can happen. But honestly, if you like if you like action, but you like sort of thrillers and political sort of thrillers, that kind of thing, this comic book, no capes, no heroes, no superpowers, just straight up dodgy people doing dodgy dealings, or some people trying to do good things, but surrounded by incredibly shady people. Love it. My comic book of the week.
So if you like the look of these comic books and fancy picking up some other comics or merchandise, pop down to Final Frontier in Plymouth, Exeter, St Austell. They're the greatest comic book store in the world, in our opinion. And make sure you listen to our podcast every Tuesday, Lazarus Pit Pod. The link will be,
we'll put it down
here somewhere.
Facebook.com/LazPitPod, Twitter.com/LazarusPitPod, YouTube. Please like this video, comment on this video, subscribe to our channel.
If you liked the comics that we liked, or you didn't like the comics we liked, please let us know. Tweet us or Facebook or in the comments below. We love the dialogue. We love to hear what you guys think. So let us know, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
Yes, hopefully. Bye.